Hello and welcome. If you're new to my channel and if you're a subscriber, a warm welcome back. In this video, I'm going to be continuing a conversation I started with one of my viewers in the comment section. It started with the viewer asking why I hadn't included Heston in my lineup of brands that I was recommending in my best pot and pan video. The answer to that is in the video attached at the end. Please do take a look at that video, because in that video I talk in detail about two of my most requested cookware brands. Belgian brand De Meer, producing arguably the best cookware in the market. It's the heaviest, it's 7-ply, but it's fantastically heat conductive in terms of being able to absorb heat, spread it evenly across the pot, and then retain it within the cookware. And then the second brand is French brand Staub, focused on producing largely cast iron pots. Conversation continued, and it transpired that the viewer was trying to weigh up between buying either a set of pots from either Fissler or from Heston. There's quite a bit of information out and about with regards to Fissler, but not so much with regards to Heston. And I thought, why not produce a video and give my thoughts. The viewer also has a budget of about $1,000, I think it's dollars, it possibly may be pounds, and so that's what I'm going to try and be working towards. And I thought the answer may be of interest to a much wider audience, seeing as there isn't a lot of information out and about with regards to Heston. I'm Anesu Sagonda, and I produce educational luxury content for anyone after the finer things. Whether you're new to money and wanting to learn how to navigate the terrain, you're into luxury, but you want to focus more on quality under the radar brands, or you're young and starting out in life and wanting to reap the benefits of buying quality from the get-go, then my content is geared towards you. Fissler and Hestan both offer lifetime warranties, as well as producing cookware that can be used on all cooktops. But looking specifically at Fissler, Fissler is a German brand, and as I've said quite often in my home series, where I'm currently focused on kitchen appliances, I'm going to attach the playlist above. When it comes to German brands, regardless of the industry, the Germans are known for the phenomenal build quality of their products. Very much focused on engineering and precision when it comes to the performance of their products. And Fissler is absolutely no different. It's a brand that was founded in 1845. So that in itself is a huge testament to the quality, the craftsmanship of their products, or else they wouldn't have survived for so long. Within the industry, they're very well respected, highly regarded actually, for their pressure cookers, which are arguably the best in the industry. But they're also known for making very high quality pots. And what I really like in particular about Fissler is they use up to 90% of recycled 1810 stainless steel when it comes to making their pots. I've spoken about Fissler in the past in the best pot and pan video. I'm going to attach that video above. And there are 5 brands that I recommended. One of them was Fissler. And Fissler, the way they produce their pots is very different to how most of the brands are producing their pots now. But I'll talk about that in a bit. And in the video, I focused on their top range that's available here in the United Kingdom, the original Profi. Over the last couple of years, brand, as you'd expect, have reacted to feedback and they've upgraded the pot. The actual pot is still exactly the same in terms of the composition, the shape, the structure, but what they have changed is the handles on the pots and also the lids. The original Profi had the clear glass lids on top so you could see through whilst the food was cooking, and the handles were a slightly more rounded shape and smaller. They've upgraded and they now have what's called the Profi 2 range. The handles are now wider, ergonomic, more of a rectangular shape. They're bigger, so it's easier to carry them even when you are wearing oven gloves. They have the stay cool function, but of course if you put them in the oven, they're going to get very hot. And then the lid, it's still tight fitting, retains moisture and heat and so forth, but it's all stainless steel. You don't have the glass on top like the original range. So that is now the Profi 2 upgraded. You can still buy the original Profi 2. It's known as the Jubilee when it's sold in sets, for example, and that's at a significantly reduced price. So that's something for my viewer to consider. Pot is still exactly the same, but it's just a different handles and also the different lid on top. So what you get now with the Profi 2 is the stainless steel pot made from 1810. You have the welded on handles, so you don't have any rivets on the inside where food accumulates. So it's fantastic in terms of just being hygienic, easy to clean, ergonomic handles. You have the wide pouring rim, so it's easier to pour food from the pot without any spillages. And then you have, of course, a tight fitting lid on top to retain moisture, heat, and it preserves the flavor and you save energy. On the inside of the pot, you have laser etched in measurements. So in theory, you don't actually need measuring cups or jugs or anything when cooking. You just pour in the liquids and the measurements are there for you to see. Also get, for example, a patented technology called the Novo Grilled. It's a waffled base in their frying pans, and it's fantastic for frying, for searing food. You ultimately need less oil, or if you have fatty food you're cooking, Wagyu steak for example, you don't actually need any oil, and it's fantastic when it comes to just optimal frying and searing of food. And then of course the magic is the base of the pot. You have multiple layers of stainless steel and a strong aluminium core, and as I've said before, aluminium is a fantastic heat conductor. It's great at being able to absorb the heat, evenly spread it across the base of the pot. With their technology, which is called the Cookstar base, they say you do not get any hot pockets, so the food cooks evenly, the pot heats evenly. And then of course you have, it's able to retain the heat. And then the pot is stainless steel. The walls are stainless steel without any aluminium. All the magic is in the base of the pot. Moving on to the second brand, which is Heston, an American brand, and their cookware is produced in Italy. They have 3 ranges. The entry range is the Pro Bond, which my viewer has asked me to talk about. It's 3-ply, so it's made up of 3 layers of alternate 1810 stainless steel and a pure aluminium core, which is fantastic for taking up the heat. Heston state their pots are 35% more efficient when it comes to heat conduction when compared to your typical stainless steel. They also come with the flush rivets on the handles, which is fantastic, a lot more hygienic, easier to clean. I like the flush rivets. It's something that I haven't seen other brands do. And then they have the stainless steel lid, which is a snug fit as the rims are reinforced and flared. The next range up is 5-ply. It's the copper bond with 100% copper base in the middle, alternate layers of 1810 stainless steel, and then the copper core. Copper is an even more superior heat conductor to aluminium, so it's fantastic in terms of taking up the heat very quickly, excellent temperature control and retention. 5-ply, as I mentioned, with the flush rivets and the snug lid on top. One of my subscribers, Ashanti, asked if I could recommend a range of pots that use copper, specifically with the welded on handles. I know these are not welded on, but the rivets are flush, and I think that's a great compromise, fantastic quality. It's not welded, but you have the flush rivets. And then the top range is the Nano Bond, and they have applied titanium to the 1810 stainless steel, creating cookware that's incredibly strong, 4 times stronger than stainless steel, typically stronger than stainless steel, and can withstand temperatures of up to 1,000 degrees Fahrenheit. The first 2 ranges, the Pro Bond and the Copper Bond, typically take temperatures of up to 600 degrees Fahrenheit. But Nano Bond goes up to 1,000 degrees Fahrenheit. It's stain, scratch, and salt pitting resistant. So which of the 2 would I recommend between Fissler and Hestan? Well, firstly, with Fissler, as I mentioned, all the magic is within the base. Aluminium core with alternate layers of stainless steel, it's weighted. And the way Fissler pots are created with their legendary Cookstar base is an old-fashioned way of producing pots that most brands are not doing now. Most brands are focused on base to rim, which is a more even, consistent way of heating up the cookware and also retaining the heat, which is what Hestan are focused on. With Fissler, you also get the laser etching measurements on the inside, but the majority of people who are cooking will have your measuring utensils. So that's something that I don't know if you'll necessarily use a lot of. I particularly like the fact that they use up to 90% of recycled 1810 stainless steel. That is fantastic, particularly now where sustainability is a huge focus for brands. But then when you throw in Hestan with base to rim, so it's even heating throughout the appliance at all times, versus Fissler where it's in the base, it's going to take longer for the cookware to warm up the base, whereas the sides will warm up a lot quicker. So the two will not warm up at the same rate with the Fissler cookware. It's great for cooking other things, reducing liquids, for example. You may have an issue where something may get burnt on the sides before the base has heated up because the sides are a higher temperature. That may be something that may occur depending on what you're cooking. But another big plus is the fact that they have the Nova grill, which is fantastic for frying and also searing. But when you compare the prices, they're both retailing cookware that typically starts from £100 and above, $100 and above. I would be more inclined to recommend Hestan. To me, it's a no-brainer. You have the base to rim heating, even heating throughout, and at that price point, base to rim. But I want to caveat that and say there are other good brands. Brands I'd even say are possibly superior, possibly on par with Hestan. I would like to throw into that equation. You have 5-ply from De Meyer, their industry, and you also have the D3, 3-ply, and the D5, 5-ply from All Clad for you to also consider. I'd be more inclined to go with those two first before I consider Hestan as a third. But it all very much depends on what you like the look of aesthetically. In terms of performance, you're going to get superior performance from All Clad, from De Meyer, and also Hestan. I would put Hestan, I would actually put De Meyer and All Clad fractionally ahead of Hestan. Please do shop around. Sales going on right now. You'll be able to find sets of pots under $1,000, under £1,000. It should be about the aesthetic. You're getting fantastic performance from all three brands. Please do let me know your thoughts in the comments down below. And to all my other viewers, thank you for watching. Please do subscribe if you haven't, and I look forward to seeing each and every one of you again soon.